Yo.
What's up, guys? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm surprised also. This is number one. It's happening.
Yes, first episode, first podcast ever, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. It's the first time I've ever heard my voice in a mic in headphones.
Yeah, I'm definitely not used to this. And I think I speak for most people when we usually do not like the sound of your own voice. So right now, that's pretty much all I'm hearing. So
yeah,
yay me.
I'm a lot more used to it. But
yeah.
Anyways, so this is upon request. I'm going to start off just by telling you that we did not want to do this. We never planned on doing this. In fact, our buddy behind the camera right there, DJ Just Jay, has been telling me to do this for 2 years, and I told him it'll be a distraction and too much commitment, and so I refused. But here we are. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
And I will tell you, our main concern and the reason we didn't want to do it more than anything is because I don't want to feel like we're big timing it, and
right.
We don't necessarily feel like we've made it by any means, or like we even deserve to do it, but we've had a lot of requests for it, and we want to be able to contribute and really add some value to a lot of you guys that are trying to win and haven't gotten to where you're at yet. So as far as where you want to be.
Yeah, and we've made a lot of progress along the years, but we've also made a lot of mistakes over the years. And so I am a firm believer that you should learn from people's good decisions and bad decisions. So I think that I am right to say that we always keep it pretty raw. We always tell it like it is. We don't hold back any punches. So you're going to get a little bit of both from the good and the bad that we've done that's got us here. And we're nowhere where we want to be. So, inviting you guys to come along the journey with us, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm supposed to look at the camera or not.
Yeah.
But I'm going to look at it anyway, so it's all good.
Right.
I will tell you, though, I'm excited about this because I put out one Instagram TV ever, and it had like 30,000 hits or something like that, and got a lot of good feedback on it. And then also, I'm excited for this because there are people on teams all across the company. I'll tell you guys, this is mainly going to be like specific to WFG and to our industry. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think anyone else really does it. And Greg Kapp does, and he does a phenomenal freaking job. But I just figured, there's a lot of people that are new in the business, that are hungry, that are trying to win, and sometimes not in an office that might be winning yet. Sometimes maybe it is, but you're parent deaf. And I remember, and when Ronnie and I started in the business, we didn't start from the top. We started from zero, and we're still not at the top.
Right.
But I remember what it's like to be broke. And even if you're not broke, I remember what it's like to be frustrated, because we're still frustrated, and really just like starving to freaking win. And so I think it would have been cool to have something like this, like some sort of resource like this back when we were brand new.
Yeah, definitely. And we want to keep these short because if you're anything like us, you're trying to make things happen. You're trying to gain momentum on a daily basis. So we want to make sure that this is something you can listen to like on the way to an appointment, or on the way to the office, or on the way to home, or on the way to the gym. Just something that you can gain value from in a short amount of time. Yeah,
for sure. So the name of it is Win Anyways. And let me tell you what I mean. You notice there's a comma in the front of it. I was telling Ronnie, as you know, like tenacity, we've got 1 in 100, which our whole philosophy and our whole belief as a team is to attract 1 in 100 people, where everybody that gets to the NBA is good, but not everyone's Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. That's a 1 in 100. And then the ones that aren't, we find them and we build them and we turn them into those type of people. So when I was thinking about 2020, I said, man, you know what? No matter what, we just got to freaking win anyways.
Yep.
And I said, oh, I like that. Mm-hmm. And I put a comma in front of it because no matter what could be going on in your life, comma, you got to win anyways.
Yeah, fill in the blank.
Yeah, exactly. No matter what. I mean, we've got people on the team that are going through a lot of stuff. And no matter what, someone's winning somewhere in the same situation that you're in, if not even worse. And so that's the name of it. And then we threw our Instagrams there just because you probably have it already. But why not? Because DJ Just Jay told us to.
And I think we're both pretty good at, if you guys have a question and you want to ask it to us, I think we're both pretty good at responding, because we know what it feels like to just like want to win so bad, and you want help and you want direction. And so I feel, that's a great way to reach us.
And we have great coaches.
Yes.
We're directly coached by Dan Charlier, who is phenomenal in the business and has been so good to us. And he's direct to Ed Milet. And so we get mentored and coached by Ed personally, which has been phenomenal and has been so good to us. And so really we want to help you guys win. So there's a couple different things, but I want to tell you that no matter what, you got to find a way to win.
Right.
And since that's what we've named it, it hasn't always been easy for us. In fact, we've had a lot of times in our business where you go to bed crying at night and you're just so pissed. And one day you're fired up, and then the next day your client gets declined and you don't know what the heck happened.
Right.
And one day you got 2 recruits and you're fired up, and then you finally had a team of 3 coming to the meeting, and then somehow 11 quit. Right. And you never even had freaking negative. 11, and you're like, how the heck did I lose 11 when I only had 3? And so like the point is that despite everything, our main focus out of this podcast is to help you win, regardless, to get you to where you have somewhere else that can give some motivation to you and some coaching and clarity on things. We answer a lot of Instagram messages, like Ronnie mentioned.
A lot of Q&As, a lot of conference calls and Zoom meetings. And
tell them what you mentioned as far as maybe one of the episodes that we'll do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think a great idea would be to do a Q&A session where we ask you guys on Instagram, what questions do you really want answered? And then we can jump on and record those answers, even if it's, strictly for business or life or routines or anything that you guys really want to know. I think we're both pretty open. And so whatever you guys want to know, we're happy to share. We're happy to help. We're just trying to pay it forward because so many people have helped us in little ways along the way that we want to do the same for you guys.
Oh, for sure. And still to this day, people do.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is one of the coolest parts about the business is that in WFG, it's kind of like a big fraternity or sorority in the sense where you could reach out and get help. And we have so many friends in the company. I'm not going to start mentioning them because I'll leave some out, and that'll go bad. But
yes.
I'll tell you my background. I was a firefighter, and I thought that's what I was going to do forever. And when we got married, Ronnie was in grad school finishing up in psychology, her master's degree at University of Laverne out here in Southern California. And, I just didn't have a background in our industry. So if you're new and you don't know our story, you could look us up on YouTube. And I mentioned it a little bit in my convention talk this last year. But the reality is we didn't come from this industry, nor were we supposed to make it. And so at the end of the day, I'm excited to be able to share with you guys kind of how we've gotten to where we're at and what our vision is on where we're going as well. And then, Ronnie, why don't you tell them your background real quick?
Yeah, when we started in business, I was, like he mentioned, I was going to school to become a school psychologist. And, previous to that, he grew up in El Monte. I grew up in South El Monte. And so we both didn't grow up in very affluent neighborhoods. So our view and our perception of finance was so skewed, right? For sure. We were just used to living paycheck to paycheck. And so we were in completely different career paths, but we felt like we were making it out of our current situation. It was just taking a very long time. And so, when we were introduced to this company, it was completely a foreign concept to us, but we were really excited. Especially he started in business first. He was so excited that it just translated over to me. But finance definitely was not our background.
Yeah, for sure. And and when you think about business and entrepreneurship, wasn't our background at all either. And so we were very bad with money. We had no money. No one in our family had ever had money. We didn't come from a city of money. We didn't have friends with money because when you have no money, your friends don't have money either.
Right.
And no one in our family had ever successfully owned or even unsuccessfully owned a business.
Right. It wasn't normal to try to do those things.
Right, exactly. So entrepreneurship, the closest thing I knew to entrepreneurship was a buddy of mine who was also a buddy of hers who dropped out of high school and then made it successfully as an entrepreneur long before entrepreneurship was even a trendy thing that people talked about. And the funny thing is now when I talk to this guy who runs a very successful company, I told him, I said, bro, when you dropped out, I remember you telling me you're going to become an entrepreneur, and I didn't even know what the word meant.
Yeah, I had no clue. Yeah.
And so kudos to him because he was a successful entrepreneur before Instagram told you how to do it.
He just figured it out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know where he got the idea from.
Yeah, he was just like, school's not for me. That's not my path. I'm not good at it. I'm not going to do it. And in my head, I'm like, well, what else are you going to do? What career doesn't require you to go to school? It wasn't anywhere in my
right.
Yeah, in my vision.
Yeah, which is awesome. It's cool because that was, geez,
So
13, 14 years ago before Instagram and all these things existed. And so that's awesome. It's good for him. So anyhow, so here's the deal. We're going to put these out. This is just kind of an intro. We want to tell you what to expect. And our prayer and request of you is that, I said this morning in our Monday morning meeting that I was asked by one of our agents on how to figure out your why. And I told him, I said, and some of you guys can relate to this because some of you are trying to figure out why you're doing the business or why you're chasing entrepreneurship. And I was trying to figure out for the first 5 or 6 years why I was really doing it. And I was very competitive. And that's really what drove me, was winning and competing and kicking somebody's butt and trying to really be somebody. But that was the extent of it. And so my point in telling you guys this is that we found that about 5-6 years into the business that our real why, part of it comes from being able to really help other people hit their why,
right.
and taking people that have never had a shot and showing them how to win. And I just love to freaking do that, which is why we spend so much time answering Instagram messages and trying to put out content. Not because we want to be self-promoters at all, but because of the fact that I know that I've built a company and we've thrived off of content other people have put out. Right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think people realize how much the small things matter.
Right.
I mean, there's days where it's like, man, like everything goes wrong and the business is hard. And then somebody reaches out to you on Instagram and says, hey, thank you so much for saying this or for doing this because it really just changed my whole perspective. And then it's just so rewarding and so recharging that it, helps keep you going.
Right. No, for sure. So that's our main focus in this, guys, and it's not going to be perfect. We ain't ever done this before.
I mean,
we're like, do we look at the camera? Do we not look at the camera?
Are we looking at each other?
Is my posture good?
Right.
I ate something with pepper, and hopefully it's
we
not in
got
my
the
teeth.
dogs around here, so you might.
But so yeah, we're new to this. But here's the deal: if you know us at all, then you know that we're very transparent.
Yeah.
And very raw, and we won't do a whole lot of editing at all because I don't know. It is what it is. If it
get
sucks,
what you get.
If it sucks, it sucks. It's all good. But my point is someone will be inspired by it and somebody will hopefully grow. And that's our main outcome. So we're going to release every Sunday at 2 p.m. We're going to put content out every Sunday at 2 p.m. And like we said, it's going to be business related and business focused. So if you're in the same industry as us, then this is going to be good for you. That's our prayer. Our request from you is to just share it because someone asked me if we're going to monetize it. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means or how to do that. And no, when someone asked, is it going to be free? And I said, yeah, it'll be free. Don't worry. I didn't even know podcasts charge. But at the end of the day, it's like we're only doing it. Right before we started this today, Ronnie said, so what's our main outcome? And I said, just to help people, push forward and help our own team, Tenacity, who we got a great freaking team. We love our team to death. And guys, WFG's changed our life in so many ways. It's crazy. So the best thing you could do is to share.
Yes.
And share this. Subscribe it. We're going to upload it. Yeah, subscribe. On YouTube, I think, is where you subscribe. Because we're going to create a YouTube today. It's already created if you're watching this.
Podcast.
We're going to put it on YouTube. We're going to put it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're going to put it on Instagram TV. And the best thing you could do is follow, share. Share this with your team. Because if you're trying to get to the top of our industry, the best part is you can't get there alone. So share it with your team, follow, subscribe, repost, promote, all that stuff. Just because the more that people win, the more that you will win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I believe the more you pay it forward, the more God will bless your efforts. So,
yeah.
All right. Whoosh.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Peace. Hopefully this works. Adios. I'm done.
Peace.